is right there. Okay, so we have the queen in this box. So that's great. Hello, and welcome to In My Backyard. As you saw, that guy in the beginning, that was Dean. So I'm saying, here's Dean.
I finally made it on one of your shows.
You did, I know. And we've been sponsors for all of the In My Backyard shows, the Back to Basics shows, and Remember When. So we're really happy that you guys are all back to see us again. And today, guess what we're going to be talking about?
No.
Yes.
Beekeeping.
Beekeeping. Oh my gosh. But you know, I really thought that people should learn a little bit more about who Imagine That Honey is and why we do this and how long we've been doing it. So I've been doing it a little bit longer than you have, Dean.
Like
Dean
double.
is my husband. Yeah, well, almost. But Dean's my husband. And, you know, when people start to learn how to do beekeeping, they have different things that they're interested in. Now, not everybody is going to be interested in going in the hives all the time and doing all of that kind of stuff. So that's what Dean does for me. Dean goes in and he helps me build frames, and he does the smoker demonstrations, and he just loves to build sheds. So that's what he does, is he does all of this other stuff. But I want to back up a little bit, because the way that Dean and I met was a little bit strange. Our very first encounter, I didn't even know Dean at the time, but our very first encounter was when I had to go to Greenwich, New York to pick up equipment. I had a class the very next day, and I said, what am I going to do? Dean was great, and I said, hey, Dean, do you have the day off tomorrow, and can you go with me and pick up some hives? And he's like, sure. And I don't think you even knew what you were getting yourself into, did you?
I did not. I think we happened to we talked that morning or something, and you called me up or something. Hey, I would like some company to go to Greenwich, New York, to pick up some bee equipment.
Yeah, and that's how it started.
And that's how it all started, really, with that. And
who would have thought?
And who would have thought?
And I found out that he was a vegetarian then.
And
wouldn't eat the food I was gonna eat. Oh my gosh!
It was
what
definitely an adventure.
It was. It was snow. It snowed the day before. There was snow this high.
In December or January? I forgot.
No, it was in March.
March.
Because I started the classes in March. So in March they had gotten snow, and the trailer was going back and forth, and I had all of these kits of bees, which weigh probably 65 pounds each.
Exactly.
We were probably overweight on the trailer too, because the trailer was going back and forth.
Back up a little bit. It was a Chevy Tracker, so it's a short wheelbase, and the trailer was a lot longer, so it was very interesting. And
it was
on
fun.
Top of hogback.
Yeah.
The snow was still on the right. It snowed that right. You said that. No.
Right. So when I said let's go and pick up beekeeping equipment, what did you already know about bees?
Well, the only memories I really have are probably when I was 12, 13, 14 years old. My grandfather had a farm in Chesterfield, and he kept bees. And I was obviously too young or something, or he didn't really want to take me out. I wish he had now. But I remember just watching from the window that he would go out to his hives when we'd go up there and visit him, and it was just, wow, you know, as you're a little kid, you're hanging onto the windowsill, you know, looking.
Did he wear a veil or anything? Or
You
use a
know
smoker?
what? I don't remember him ever wearing a veil, but he used the smoker. I remember that. And it's funny, in the house, we always had a tin can, I don't know if it was galvanized, but a 10-gallon can with a pry-off lid like a paint can, and that was our honey on the shelf. And I'm sure a lot of people do remember that way, you know, in the late 60s.
Yeah.
And that's how bulk honey came.
Yeah, we hear this story all the time from new beekeepers, because what ends up happening is people have this history of, oh, I watched my aunt, oh, I watched my grandfather, and they don't know how they did it.
Exactly.
But they're really intrigued, and so that's how a lot of people get interested in beekeeping. And you know, it's funny, when I think about some of the things that have happened with us in our journey. I've been a beekeeper for about 15 years. Dean's been about 10 now, honestly. Yeah, 10 years. It's gone by so fast.
Yes.
But it's really funny. I'm gonna show a montage here in a little bit, but it's funny to watch the progression of where you started and where you are now, because when we first started, you wore all the gear. You had long pants on, you had a veil, you had gloves, everything.
Probably. Well, even some of the building we do or whatever, we progressed to
Right.
make
We're
things
a lot
easier.
better now than,
right.
yeah.
And yeah, it has been a progression
Yeah.
and from when we started.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because I have some pictures in the montage that show us out at Stonewall Farm, or you out at Stonewall Farm, and it looks a little geeky because, well, it was just like one of the first times that you had gone into the hives. And
Yeah,
so, you know, it was kind of like, ooh, I'm really proud I went into the hives. You know, like, but that's
And it
how people
probably-
are.
yes,
you know,
you're
because
right,
if you don't have
absolutely.
the
Absolutely, yeah.
the confidence to go into the hives, then, you know, it's a little bit tougher. And you
Yeah,
think it's a great thing, and it is.
Yeah,
But-
it's awkward in the beginning, but and maybe intimidating, or you know, if the bees are buzzing a lot or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's just
Yeah.
nothing to be afraid of, though.
No, I know. Well, if you have a good teacher, or somebody
Exactly, Jody.
exactly, or a mentor, or somebody that knows what
exactly.
they're doing,
Yep.
it makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely.
So we do teach classes, and they start in March, and they go through September. We take August off, but there's also the Monadnock beekeepers that teach classes as well, and theirs go March through August, and so there's no reason somebody shouldn't become a beekeeper, because there's plenty of places to learn. So let's just look at what we've been through. Okay, I've just got a couple of bullets, not bullets, but bullets. Bears. Everybody should have bear fences. And we did have a
Absolutely.
yard very early that did not have a bear fence on it. And you'll see a picture a little bit later
really?
that has the hives just spewing everywhere. And that doesn't happen anymore, knock on wood, because we have bear fences.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
And
it's,
how good are you at putting up bear fences?
well, that was another learning curve of
Exactly.
the beekeeping world, that you know, you start with maybe a sheep fence, and then wow, a bear could go a bear could go through that, or you just talk to other bear keepers and
Bear keepers?
bear keepers. Beekeepers.
People can be bear keepers.
Yeah, you're right. Beekeepers and get their take
Right.
on it, or a bear came right through it, and then you go to, you know, solid wire with posts and everything, and you do it better on your next yard and your next yard and your
one of
next
the things
yard.
that I'm always talking with you about is how we can do things better with less work, or you know, so that we don't have to worry about things like that. So one of the things that a friend of ours, Donna, mentioned, she's an electrician. What was that? She said dig out around the
the
fence?
Yeah, dig from post to post and put the
ground wire.
ground wire. What did she call that? A ground loop, and run it, and put your post at every corner and run a ground loop right on the ground,
Yeah.
right in the ground.
Because what we have
and
seen,
that
it gives a better
brought that-
charge.
right, it
Yeah,
brought the
because what we've
amps up or
seen
something.
is that even having the rod down, sometimes it's so dry that
right,
you don't get a charge.
Exactly.
So
and
yeah.
it seemed to, doing it corner to corner, it seemed to carry that charge completely around the yard now.
Right.
The
And it
ones
matters
that
how big your yard is too.
Right.
But most people just have a small yard,
Right.
so it's
But the ones we've done it at, it works great.
Right,
With the
right.
and that with the bear standing basically on top of the ground wire.
Right.
That's, I guess, why they call it the
they're not
ground loop.
grounded. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we've done extracting honey. So that's just part of being a beekeeper. I mean, in your first year, you don't always get it, but it's been a lot of fun seeing people extract their first honey. They're just joyful. You know, they're so proud of their ladies.
Absolutely.
You know, they've just done a great job. So now the other thing is, in some of our classes, we help people set up their hives. So we're pretty good at setting up hives now. Moving hives, we're really pretty good at moving hives.
We're very
now.
good at moving hives. That's another progression that
Yeah.
has happened over the years.
When we first started, it was intimidating.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Now we just kind of loop everything together and
Right.
throw it on the truck, and we're out of there.
Right.
So.
Right. And we do a good job at it. It's
Right.
just that was one of our better progressions through
Yeah.
day one to
A lot of confidence
today.
there now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that you like to do is the smoker demonstrations. And I tell everyone, Dean is the expert at smoking.
Yes,
smokers. You don't smoke.
At the smokers, they
Yeah.
they in class. I don't know if I have a knack or whatever, but it is. And everybody, when they get through the class, they appreciate that help that I have gave them to light their smoker,
So
which
what's
is
the secret?
There's no secret.
Yes, there is.
There's
Other people can't light smokers like
and
you can.
it just amazes me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's being patient.
it's being a little
Using
patient.
the right newspaper and combination of...
It could be the combination or
Every
just.
time you do it, it
I know
always works
it always
out.
works.
Yeah.
But I show the students that we have, and they're very appreciative of that effort that
They
I put
admire
into
you
it.
for being able to... Because a lot of times with a smoker,
and it's a
hard to
simple
keep 'em
little
going.
tool that needs to be done,
Right.
but yet
Always.
yeah,
Always
always,
have your
and
smoker
yet a lot of people have little problems, but
Yeah.
you know it's just a basic technique and
practice.
it works.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So the other thing that you like to do, or I say he likes to do, but frame building and hive body building. Frames come like this. They're not all together. And if you want to just show them a little bit about what we have here.
well, it basically comes in. There's two sides, a top and a bottom, and it comes apart, or you can buy them as a built unit, but it's nice on it. This is like a winter project to do. It's a great winter project with a little glass of wine on a Sunday afternoon. And you just sit at a table by the fire and just nail these things together.
Yeah.
And
There's little pins on the ends.
Little
or you
pins
can
on the
wire
ends.
them if you want to take a little bit more time and have more like a bottle of wine instead of a glass of wine.
yeah, that would take it, but
But what happens is that the bees will draw out the comb. When we say draw it out, it means that they build it off from this foundation. So the foundation is flat. Let me just show them the other side. But the foundation is flat on this side. And you can see that they are building it out just a little bit here. But on this side, they've really built it out. And so you've got some color here. And those colors are from the pollen that was out. And also, I see some propolis there, too.
meaning that this has been in the hive. It's not a
Right.
brand new
Exactly.
frame.
Exactly.
It has been in the hive.
Yeah, but this is one of those hobbies that just smells so good. I mean, it doesn't matter whatever you work with, either the wood or the foundation, they all smell good.
Yep. Yep.
So, our adventures of picking up bees. How do you get your bees?
Well, you usually
You get a swarm, don't you?
get a swarm,
That's how
right.
everybody says. You get a swarm. You find a tree. You go up in the tree.
The
you
bee
pick up the
hunter.
swarm. Yeah, boom, done.
you're searching with binoculars and search for those.
Yeah, in the
And-
1980s and before that,
Right.
you could have done
It
that.
was possible that
Right.
because yes, the
There was
old
a lot more
farmers
bees
used to
around.
go out and find bee
There were no
trees.
varroa mites.
Right.
Yeah.
Used to find bee trees and get their bees that way, but
Yeah. So how do we pick up
To-
our nukes and packages?
today we travel different places with our truck, and
I've even done it in the car. Remember we did it in the Subaru once.
we did
I
it.
had
And we
50
had
I
a
think I had
Subaru.
50 packages in there.
We
I
had a
think.
Subaru wagon,
Yep.
exactly, a Subaru Forester.
And-
had the back seat down, went to the supplier,
Yep.
and got packages of bees.
And a package of bees is a box, and you'll see that soon too. A box that is screened on both sides, and they come in like 3 or 4 or 5 pieces all strapped together. And there's a few loose bees, but not many.
Not many,
No, it's
no.
nothing to. But again, when we first started, I mean, I've seen people that wear their veils all the way
Right,
because they don't want
exactly.
to get stung.
Right.
Now we just open up a window and
let 'em,
boom,
yeah.
not even. I'm not worried about it anymore. But the nukes that we pick up,
That is
that's an
interesting.
adventure.
That's an adventure,
yeah.
right?
Every time we pick these up, we go up to Vermont, we pick these up, and it never fails. It's always a rainy, wet, hot night. And the bees are cranky. Oh my gosh. What we do
Exactly.
is I go into the hives, every single hive, pick up all the frames, find the queen, find the frames, all the bees, put them in a new box. We move on. Dean gets to load them on the truck, make sure that none of the bees are going to be getting out. And we usually take that 25 or 30, 25 or 30.
25 or 30.
Yeah, boxes of bees, 2 hours home, and then everybody comes and picks them up,
Picks them up
and
within,
they go home with them.
yeah,
And
a
they
few
have no
days.
idea.
No, they
The
have no
service
idea.
that we provide for
No,
them.
you're correct.
Yeah.
Because it does get a little scary sometimes
Right.
with especially one of those years where it was drizzling. Not raining, but it was drizzling
Yeah.
quite hard.
It's
and,
rained right up till the time
Right.
that we got there sometimes.
and depending how many other people are at this yard where they're going through the nukes,
Yeah.
that depends on how much activity in the air is just
I know. Well,
buzzing.
what people don't realize is that honeybees are very cranky when it's raining.
Yeah.
And so it's not because I don't want to get wet, because I will melt, but it's because bees are really, really cranky. I always say that bees are like women. If we're not fed, if we don't have enough space, if the weather's not good, we don't have enough shoes, no. But they can be really, really cranky. Or they can be nice. You just have to know how to treat them, right?
That is true. That is true. I'm not going there.
Okay, so let's see. We've talked about moving hives, picking up bees, working the hives. As I said before, you used to wear all your gear. Now, although you do get stung once in a while.
I do.
On the ankles of all places.
On the ankles.
Yeah,
That's
because you don't wear
strange.
thick enough socks, I don't think.
Maybe not. I don't really
But
know.
now you go into hives sometimes, you don't wear a veil, you don't wear gloves. You know, it is a lot easier to do that. It's just knowing when the bees are going to be cranky
Exactly,
or not.
and that's what I was just going to say. It is, you can hear their level of sound basically, and that's what I judge it by. And early in the season, I'm more apt to do that. As
Right.
the season goes on, no.
You might wear a few more things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we've got a picture of you in your sandals, your flip-flops.
Oh,
Yeah.
flip-flop.
Working a hive.
It was probably
Nothing.
Yeah.
Shorts. Anyway.
95 degrees.
Right.
And,
I mean, hey, you get hot. You get hot. We've also extracted bees out of a house.
yes,
that
we
was a
did
great
that.
adventure as
That
well.
I wish we had.
Made
I
our
wish
own
we
little
had-
vacuum.
Right.
Yeah.
It was looked like Ghostbusters
Right,
actually.
it did.
I wish we had pictures of that.
Yeah.
That was an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
been
an
interesting.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Honey. There's different colors of honey. There's different times of year that you can take honey. There's July, there's August, September. Your flavors of your honey are all going to be different. And when we do the extracting, what we do with our equipment is we'll do the extracting. We have a big centrifuge, and all of the honey goes out to the edges and it drops down. You open it up, and all of the honey pours out. But what do we do with our equipment once the honey is out of it?
We actually give it back.
Yes.
So
it's a partnership.
it is a partnership. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we do is we give back the honey back to the bees. We put it out. They clean it up, and then Dean comes with his power washer and just cleans it up a little bit.
finishes up, and
Yeah, and
we're
everybody's
good the next
happy.
time. Everybody's happy, and
Yeah.
we
It's really
the
fun.
next time.
Yeah. I don't know. Dean again doesn't go into the hives all that much. You know, it's me that goes into the hives usually. But I find a lot of joy watching the bees fly. And I could just sit in front of the hives or watch the frames and see the bees moving all day. I mean, I like it. It's better than watching television. It really is. So, anyway, just wanted to say that. I think it is anyway. Well, except for that one show that's really good now. Anyway, okay, so let's watch the montage, and you'll see a few pictures of Dean doing his thing. He's got different personalities, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about what his next project is.
great. I love projects.
Okay, stay tuned. Did you see that smile? You know, that's how everybody is when they get their honey. I mean, it's such a joy.
It is.
Because
Yes, it is.
how much honey does one honeybee make in its lifetime? How much honey does it make?
A 12th
Yes.
of a teaspoon.
Which is
is
much. Yeah. It's nothing. And when you get
That's why
honey,
there's so many bees in
right,
the hive.
it's all about numbers.
It's all about numbers.
Right. Because when you take honey off your hive, if you've left enough for your bees, you can get 50, 60, 100 pounds of honey. I'm not saying that's what you should be getting, but you can take that much if you've got a strong hive. And when you think about that, that's a lot of 12ths of a teaspoon. It's huge. So our next project, Dean, I know we've talked about it,
I know.
but you might have forgotten it.
No.
No? We are moving towards something new. It's a Slovenian hive, and I just came back from Slovenia, which used to be Yugoslavia. And I'm going to have some Slovenian hives in my yard. And the Slovenian hives are worked from the back instead of working from the front. And they don't require a lot of lifting, because a lot of times the lifting is 100 pounds or whatever. It can be between 10 or 20,
that
50,
goes
100.
back to the making, doing things smarter.
Right.
And maybe,
exactly. Because I want to be doing this when I'm
as
90
we get
years
older,
old.
right,
Right.
exactly.
And so these are things that people should start thinking about, because there is an investment in these. Building a structure, or even having just a roof over it. And what happens is all of the hives are together, and they keep each other warm. You work it from the back, and it's like opening up a cupboard. And the bees have a screen over them, and they can't get out until you pull it off, and then you can get inside. So, anyway, we've done a lot, Dean, and I'm really looking forward to the new bee house.
The new bee
adding
house.
a little bit more, because we've got Warre hives, we've got top bar hives, we've got regular hives. You name it, we've got it. Sort of. There's a lot of other ones out there, but yeah. So what I wanted to tell you guys today, or just encourage you to do, is don't sit back if this is something that you really want to do, because beekeeping can be fun, enjoyable, and I don't know. I can't imagine, for me, I can't imagine a day. I feel like I'm just so sad when I don't have my bees. So next time you get a chance to watch us or email us, our email address is inmybackyardch8@gmail.com. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Dean.
You're welcome. I'm glad I'm here with you.
Great. And
Maybe
I'm
I'll
sure
do another one.
You never know. You never know. So I think that's it. And let me see. Love life, live well, and be grateful. See you next time. Thank you very much.